violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Baldwin County Sheriff's investigators say a shootout at a Milledgeville mobile home park left a 21-year-old man dead. Major Brad King with the Sheriff's Office says it happened just after 9 o'clock last night at the Southwood mobile home park on Carl Vinson Highway.
Wow. So, when I saw this headline, and they said it was a mobile home shootout, I'm thinking, okay, you know, white trash probably. You know, no disrespect to my gliders out there, but white trash situation, trailer park trash, you know, the stereotypes for the poor white man in America. But I was highly mistaken.
King identified the victim as 21-year-old Javon Jackson. King says investigators found Jackson in the yard with
Javon Jackson. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know any white person named Javon. So if you are white and you're watching this video, your name's Javon, hit me up, because you're probably an anomaly, one of a kind. So there's got to be something about you, bruh.
with gunshot wounds. Ramey Cohen talked to neighbors who say the violence in town must stop.
Just after 9 p.m. Tuesday, at least 50 shots were fired, including the ones that killed 21-year-old Javon Jackson.
And my son ran from one end to the house, and I've taught him, if you hear shooting, get on the floor. But he probably was scared.
Hold on. So she had to teach her son that if you hear shooting, get on the floor. Like, that's taught before we teach the kids to read, write, multiply, divide. If you hear shooting, get on the floor. That, I mean, that's a testament to just the environments that we in the community, where like you're teaching a kid how to dodge bullets.
He ran through the house, and he came back there and got on the floor. He said, "Mama, they shooting out there," and I heard it.
Daphne Driscoll has a 15-year-old son who plays football for Baldwin County. She says we got to stop the violence.
We get a little argument, you know how they get to fight. They don't fight no more. They shoot now. I wish it had been, if just an argument, if it was anything, the little argument, y'all walk away.
But we know that is not realistic in the community. Whenever you are arguing with a brother, especially in a hood or a mobile home park like this, you gotta expect that they coming back.
But that's the first thing they do. They grab their gun.
Constance Leslie has lived in the neighborhood for more than 10 years, but wasn't home when the shooting happened.
It's sad to know that it happened here, you know, close. We have kids here. And from the damage, what I understand that happened.
Whoa. Look at her do.
Somebody, child or grown person, could have got killed.
Leslie has a 19-year-old son who plays basketball. He doesn't live here. She says that's best for him and his future.
This is a dead end. You come in, there's no way out. Only one way in, one way out. And for it to happen, it's just like, wow, hurtful, very hurtful.
Major Brad King says there was more than one shooter, but they don't know how many. In Milledgeville, Ramey Cohen, 13 WMAZ News.
According to his cousin, Keemon Johnson, Javon Jackson lived in Columbus but was visiting his grandmother. He also attended a birthday party for his late brother, Levon, who was shot to death last year in Columbus.
Guys, think about what that guy just said. Levon, his brother, the brother of Javon, was shot to death last year. So the whole lineage is gone. Both sons died before they reached 25. And these are the brothers who did it. 24-year-old Tiandre Tremaine Alexander. 19-year-old Garyante Dewan Ivy. And 17-year-old Davion Boyd. I mean, I think that a lot of black men, especially young black men, these dudes who are involved in these types of beefs and maybe trying to do their little rap thing, SoundCloud rap, whatever, they think that your manhood is earned by taking another man's life. And that's kind of how it's promoted in the black community. It's very unfortunate. And you see the results of it. So 5 lives wasted in the span of a couple years over nothing. Nothing.
Authorities say the motive for car theft and break-ins is usually to steal weapons. Atlanta police responded to one location where several cars were hit. One SUV had 4 passengers and each one had a gun. Fox 5's Morse Diggs spoke to one of the victims.
So guys, a lot of these car thefts are happening because people are keeping their straps in their car. And you got to carry that thing out. Obviously, you're not going to take it into most public places, but I don't know. It's like you can't win for losing because you think your car is safe, then it gets broken into. At this point, you got to have bulletproof windows.
One vehicle, a thief or thieves hit the jackpot. 4 guns in one car. I spoke to one of the occupants who told me they were careful to try and stow away all the guns. One in the glove box, another in the center console, the others underneath the seat. But that didn't matter. The thieves, nowhere to look.
Big events draw big crowds.
Touchdown, Davis!
We're not from that city. We were just in town for the game. And just take your time. Don't get out right away. This is Atlanta. Guys watching you and you don't even know it. Make sure you don't leave anything showing in the car because they will bust your window.
Yep. I mean, it's Atlanta. Tinted windows or you know, bulletproof windows is probably your best bet. These dudes are on demon time. We've done multiple stories on carjackings. If you go back and check out one of my older videos, there was a sister who explained why she didn't want to live in Atlanta anymore, and then she started naming off other big cities that are infected by, you know, brothers who are on demon time. So, I mean, unless you in one of these small towns, you're going to have to deal with this stuff often.
The night before, the out-of-towner and friends had parked a rental SUV on Lucky Street downtown. Out partying, they came back to the car they'd left on a well-lit street. They could see the shattered glass.
I was just like, man, it actually happened. Like, even though he said it, I didn't think it was going to happen to us.
Thieves could not know they'd hit the bonanza. 4 guns were inside.
I thought we did a pretty good job of tucking everything away.
So these dudes came from Mississippi because if they came in for the Jackson State game, that's in Mississippi. So they came all the way from Mississippi. They brought their guns because it's legal. The gun laws are pretty much transferable, and if you have a open carry license in one state, you're good in another. So, but man, they got hit up hard. They got hit bad.
One in the deep pocket in the driver's seat, that one was stolen, and my pistol out of the glove compartment. The other 2 were fine.
What do you think that tells you?
They didn't have much time.
It is why the police department continues to advise and appeal to not leave guns in your vehicles.
So year to date, we recovered 2,439 weapons and had 1,907 stolen from vehicles.
It was so bad that talking to the officer, He said that they got him last week. They didn't steal his firearm, but they stole his vest and things like that out of his car.
So if Atlanta Chief.
Dang. They stealing vests out of the police car. Atlanta's on demon time right now. It's on fire right now, and people just keep telling you, move to Atlanta, move to Atlanta. Oh, okay.
Chief Rodney Bryan is tuning in right now. I want to show you, this is not a real firearm. It's just a pellet gun. From Northeast Atlanta, I'm Morse Diggs, Fox 5 News.
If you don't lock up your gun in DeKalb County, a commissioner there wants you to pay.
There is an ordinance now being considered that would make the first offense of leaving a gun unlocked a $500 penalty. 11 Alive's Caitlin Ross reports that he is hoping that this new legislation will make their community a whole lot safer.
The commissioner who proposed this ordinance says that's what it's all about, keeping kids in the community safe.
By reducing easy access to guns, it will reduce children being killed, as well as guns going into the illegal market.
You can't write a bill for this stuff. You can't write a bill for this stuff. They're doing this because a 5-year-old boy ended up shooting himself in Atlanta. And a lot of these times, contrary to popular belief, these are black kids dying, you know. Go back in my channel. Look at all these. I did the story on the 11-year-old kid who killed that other boy. And I did a story on some cousins. And then I did a story on this 3-year-old kid or 2-year-old kid who shot his mom during the Zoom call. And the gun was in the Paw Patrol bag that his dad was carrying around. So, of course, he's going to go in the Paw Patrol bag because it's the baby bag. You know, that's another thing. There's a phenomenon of brothers who are walking around with, you know, childlike book bags like SpongeBob book bag. I mean, it's a whole thing. But anyways, you can't write a bill for this. The irresponsible people, the irresponsible firearm owners, legal or illegal, they're going to have the weapons, and you can't force them to lock it up, because by the time you figure out it's a problem that they're negligent with their firearm, a kid has already shot themselves or somebody else.
DeKalb Commissioner Ted Terry says everyone he's talked to so far is supportive of the ordinance he proposed this week.
If you're going to own a gun, there needs to be responsible and common sense regulations around storage.
He says the DeKalb County Legal Department is prepared for any challenges to the ordinance, but he thinks the data he's collected from the county will prove the need for it.
This year, 15,000 handgun permits were issued by the DeKalb County Probate Court, and that's up from last year. And so what we're seeing here is a spike in violent crime happening in our communities. People feel unsafe and they go out and buy a handgun. And so now we have 15,000 more handguns in DeKalb County, but we need to make sure that we're educating people on what is the proper and secure way to store those guns.
He says he's thought about proposing a similar ordinance for a while now, but the recent deaths of children in our communities from gun violence pushed him to introduce it now.
The goal here is to reduce the risk of guns getting into the hands of minors, into potential school shooters, as well as reduce the possibility that guns will be stolen from vehicles and used in the black market, which are increasing violent crimes in our communities.
The DeKalb Committee on Public Safety will have a hearing on that ordinance after the first of the year before it goes to a full commission vote.
This afternoon, a family says the wheels of justice are moving too slowly. They're waiting to see if an Atlanta police officer will be indicted for shooting and killing their son. The officer shot Jimmy Atchison nearly 3 years ago. Only Channel 2's Dave Huddleston talked to his family. Dave, you're live now at police headquarters.
Jimmy Atchison was shot in January of 2019. The Fulton County Public Integrity Unit recommended the officer be charged in this case, but that hasn't happened, and the family is frustrated.
He destroyed our lives, and it'll never be the same.
So, with this Jimmy Atchison guy, he basically was running away from the police after a robbery, an armed robbery. And, you know, the family's asking for justice. Apparently, he wasn't armed when he was shot by the police. But they're saying that it looked like he reached for something, whatnot. My thing is, you're saying that they destroyed your lives. The boy destroyed his own life by getting involved in the armed robbery. That's where we need to focus on. Obviously, I know you want justice and whatnot, depending on the circumstances, because I don't know. I wasn't there. But it's just like, yeah, it starts at the home. Why does this boy feel the need to go and stick people up? That's where we need to start at.
It'll never be the same.
This is Tammy Featherstone. She says former Atlanta police officer's son Kim destroyed her family after he shot and killed 21-year-old Jimmy Atchison. Kim and an FBI task force were searching for him after he was accused of armed robbery. They found him at this apartment complex hiding in a closet.
Armed robbery. My man was hiding in a closet. The Asian cop shot him. If he was a white cop, all hell would have broke loose. And this was last year. But they got lucky. It was an Asian cop. This had nothing to do with race. If he didn't have a gun, he made a mistake by running from the police. Bro, like, you gotta, if you gonna turn yourself in, bro, turn yourself in. Come on. It makes no sense. But, you know, the family wants justice. I understand. I can empathize with them. But at the same time, it's like, bruh, armed robbery. You're running. They're assuming that you're armed and dangerous. You hiding in a dark closet with multiple objects. You moving fast. You tried to run when he shot you. Whatever it is, whatever happened, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Kim said Atchison made a threatening move with a weapon, but nothing was ever found at the scene. That was almost 3 years ago.
I don't think we ever asked for was fairness and justice. Fairness, truth, and justice.
Atchison's father, Jimmy Hill, says they want Kim charged with murder. They first started working with former DA Paul Howard. Now it's the new DA, Fonnie Willis, but so far no charges have been filed. I sent a text and talked with the DA staff, and they told me this case is of the highest priority, but the investigation continues. A decision on whether to charge Officer Kim should be reached in 2022.
We want some type of closure. We just want Fulton kind of just to turn the banner with it, to do the right thing, and indict Sean Kim for the murder of my son.
I don't think he should be hit with murder. It's hard for me to empathize with somebody who is going to go into somebody's home and rob them. Jimmy Atchison, although I know you're mourning the loss of your child because obviously it's your child, but let's keep it a buck. He was thugged out. He made the mistake of, instead of turning himself in when he got caught up, of trying to go on the run. And he got clapped for it, man. I mean, should the officer lose his job because a criminal is out here wreaking havoc in the streets, and then when they ring him up, the boy tries to, you know, run or bust out the closet, all fast movements? Like, come on, G.
Officer Kim resigned from the force. We are still working to get a hold of him. The Atchison family has sued the city of Atlanta for $20 million. Reporting live from downtown Atlanta, Dave Huddleston, Channel.
Is this just a money grab? 20 mil. Bruh. That's not a good precedent to set. A dude like runs into somebody's crib with a firearm, scares the hell out of them, thinks that they're going to lose their life, and then he gets killed in the apprehension because he acting a fool, still on the run, still want to try and run, busting out the bando, busting out the closet, trying to scare the officer. Like, bro. And they get $20 million because he was wrongfully shot, in quotations. Man, I can't get behind that, bruh. Nah, bruh. 20 million, man, heck nah, bruh. Heck nah. I don't think they deserve no money, to be honest. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't think the officer should have lost his job either. I don't. If he lied about the report, yeah, he should have, like, if he said, oh, yeah, he had a weapon, but there ain't no way he opened the closet, Buddy was all good, hands up, ready to get arrested, and then he just shot him. Like, I'm thinking Buddy tried to bust out the closet, making quick movements. Like, sheesh.
To Action News.
A delicate time, the holiday time for that family.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.